So this woman says that a demon ended up possessing her husband and then tried to repossess him later. This story is absolutely wild and it's terrifying. And it's crazy to think that this could happen to anybody. Tonight's submitter did not tell me whether I could use her real name or not, so I am going to be calling her Jackie. Jackie comes from a family of sensitives, and sometimes they joke about their sensitivity being contagious, and in this case, it was. In 2020, her daughter, who was 7 at the time, and her boyfriend, who was an atheist, and her were living in a 2-bedroom apartment on the 4th floor. They had a downstairs neighbor that was an older gentleman who was sickly, and before COVID, they would bring groceries and his mail down to the 1st floor for him. His bedroom was right below theirs, and every single night at 3 a.m. he would have these coughing fits and they could hear him. It actually sounded like he was being choked at times, and then one day it just stopped. No wheezing, no heavy breathing, nothing, just dead silence. It became so constant that it was literally a part of their everyday life. They'd wake up, comment on it, and then go back to sleep. And then the night came where they weren't awoken by his coughing anymore, and then another night, and then another night, and then one day they come home to this horrible stench in their apartment, hanging thick and heavy along the entire 3rd and 4th floors. After about 2 days and the stench just getting worse, she asked her boyfriend, "When was the last time that you heard him cough?" "I don't know," her boyfriend said with a look of concern. And then the next day, the coroner's van was outside of that old man's apartment. He was dead, asphyxiation from what they could tell without an autopsy. But this is when things got strange. Her cousin, who was her next door neighbor, and his girlfriend worked nights. And so she agreed to watch their children for them while they worked. One evening, his girlfriend's 2-year-old son walked into the bedroom and said, "There's a man in my closet with red eyes, but don't worry, I'll beat him up." Bam, bam, he's gone, the little boy said. So at this point, her boyfriend is working overnight. So he had his brother stay with Jackie, her little cousins, her daughter, and the little boy that she was watching, just for some extra protection. And one night, the brother-in-law has an experience, and he asked Jackie, "Hey, were you walking around last night? Because I heard someone walking around in the living room, and then I went to go turn on the light and nobody was there." To which Jackie replied, "No, I wasn't." The very next night, his brother was busy, so he wasn't able to stay with them. So she decided to test this theory herself. She put her daughter to bed, she went out into the living room, and she turned off the lights, and she just sat in the dark. About 5 minutes later, she starts to hear footsteps. And then she hears paper rustling on the table where the mail is, right in front of her. Unafraid, because she was used to seeing spirits at this point, or them making appearances, she waited until it got eerily close, and then she turned on the lamp that was beside her. And there was nothing. No lost person, no animal, nothing. She put it behind her, thinking it was just the man that had passed away that lived below them, showing his appreciation for how they had helped him during the pandemic. But she could not have been more wrong. A couple weeks later, her and her daughter and her boyfriend are in the living room watching TV, having a side conversation, when boom, her boyfriend begins staring into the corner behind the couch, and he just starts saying, "No, no, 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 no." So Jackie's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's just continuing, "No, no, no, no." That's when he jumps up and makes a beeline for the door. She had to chase him. She eventually found him just running in circles around the building. He was in this trance-like state, just circling the building, and she's just calling out to him, "Babe, babe," and then she says his name. We're gonna call him Larry. Larry! But it was like he wasn't even there. She watched in between, horrified but curious, as he circled the building for a 3rd time, and then he just stopped. Then he starts peering into the laundry room window and just starts screaming, "He's there! He's there! He's there!" The only thing that she knew to do at this point was pray, and so she prayed until he finally snapped back to reality. And suddenly he just says, Why the are we outside?" And she just says, I'll explain later. She was in shock, unable to attempt or fathom what she just saw and heard. He totally went back to his normal self. They walked upstairs and he promptly went to sleep. She did not sleep a wink that night, just thinking about how some darkness was close to swallowing her family whole. Being as this wasn't a new thing for her, she did know what to do. So the next morning, she calls her mother and asks her to bring over some holy water. Holy oil. and it was blessed by the bishop of their church. They then performed a cleansing while her boyfriend and her daughter were gone. It was uneventful, no noises, no nothing. Then the new neighbors moved in to the dead man's home, none the wiser to the fate of the previous tenant. A little later, her cousin and her boyfriend go out to get something to drink, and on the way back, they meet the new neighbor. Filthy brown water flowing rapidly from the front door into the hallway. The neighbor was standing there with his hands up by his ears, screaming, "Help! Please help!" So her boyfriend walks upstairs and tells Jackie, "Hey, look, I don't know what's going on downstairs, but there's a bunch of brown water coming up through the sink. I'm gonna go downstairs and help this guy try to figure this out." So he goes downstairs, and she starts to go downstairs, but she says that something just felt really weird. So she went back upstairs, and he went downstairs and tried to help as much as he could, but he ended up coming back upstairs too, because he also said that it felt very weird in there. But the next day she goes downstairs and she kind of introduces herself to the neighbor and says, "Hey, my boyfriend is the one that tried helping you with your sink yesterday." So she kind of just bluntly asks him, "Is there anything weird going on in your apartment, like besides the sink?" And the neighbor was like, "Yeah, there is. Why do you ask?" So she just politely explains to him, "Listen, the tenant before you died in your apartment not long before you moved in, and apparently his friend who was with him, who was a woman, just excitedly was like, 'I knew it. I knew something was wrong with this apartment the minute we moved in. I knew it.'" Almost like she felt validated. She said that strange things continued to happen on the third floor until they moved out. So it's 3 years later now. Her boyfriend is now her husband. So her husband, her and her daughter are now living in a new apartment. New place, new state, new life, until one night her and her husband are watching TV. They're just chatting and drinking when that same distant look crosses her husband's face. Then he just starts going, "No, no, 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 no," while he's staring into the closet. He stands up, he starts taking steps backwards, and she instantly places her hands on him and begins to pray. But he's just screaming, "It's here! Don't let it get me, please! It's trying to take me, it's trying to take me, please, Jackie!" She then anoints him with the same blessed oil that was stashed in her purse from 3 years earlier, and there was no other incident after that. So what did you guys think about that story? That was like a little crazy. I wonder what was going on there. It doesn't seem like, to me, like it was a full possession. It almost seems to me like something was trying to scare him, not possessing him. Because I feel like if he was possessed, things would have been a lot darker. They would have gotten really dark. He probably would have gotten sick. He probably would have gotten depressed. There's a lot of things that go on when you are fully possessed that are really bad. And these moments were very fleeting, right? So they happened once for it sounded like it was like a 15-minute ordeal, and then it happened again for like a couple of minutes. I think that maybe something was trying to scare him, or maybe something was attached to him, and there may have been something that had caused both of these incidents to happen, but I don't know if it was a full-blown possession. That is just my personal take on it, but I am glad that nothing else happened after that and that he's okay. I'm also glad that Jackie was able to stop this, because obviously she had the experience to do so, and without her being there, it probably could have gotten much worse. So I'm glad that Jackie was there, and thank you so much, Jackie, for sending in this story. That is crazy, and that makes me wonder a lot of things. Like, was the old man the one doing this? Was he a nice old man? Like, he sounds to me like he was nice. You didn't say anything bad about him. I wonder what was going on here. That's so strange. It's very strange, and I can't figure it out. So if anybody has any comments, suggestions, or opinions, please drop them below. Also, I know that my background is different and my lighting is weird. Like I said, I'm working on setting up my professional camera, so things will be a lot better soon. I am just so busy with work right now because it's Q4. I don't know if I told you guys that. And I am I'm a full-time content creator. So besides the stories that I do, I also do like content content marketing. So I do like fashion, beauty, and stuff like that. And it is wild right now. Like it is, I am slammed with work. So even coming on here and making stories, I get like super anxious. So just be patient with me. I will be uploading every 2 days like I normally do. But if I miss like a day and I do it every 3 days, that isn't gonna last forever. It's only gonna be for like a couple of months. So please hang in there with me, you guys, because I'm trying really hard to grow this channel, and I know consistency is really important with YouTube. I also know that a professional camera is really important, and also a professional microphone, and I don't have any of those things. So I am really appreciative of all the people who still watch my channel and who support me and comment and stuff like that. And I know that I'm late to your comments too, but again, this is what's going on. This is why I'm just super busy right now, and I will respond to your comments. I always do, and I will be making videos, I promise you. Just hang in there with me. Hang in there with me. But the next video will be another 30 days of October. So it's a cool one. So it's a really cool one. Did you guys know that Nightmare on Elm Street is based on a true story? It's a different type of story, but it's creepy. That's gonna be part of what I talk about in the next video. So anyways, now I'm gonna do my favorite part, which is the shout outs. Keisha Smith 4532. Thank you so much. There's a train going on in the background right as I'm about to thank you for leaving a comment saying that people shouldn't leave just because of the sound quality. But thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate you being a loyal follower more than you know. Thank you so much for watching my channel regardless of how it sounds or looks. I really truly appreciate that so much. I appreciate you being a part of my community. I appreciate you commenting and supporting me and being kind. I love it when people like you come into my community and just participate. And I want to get, like I said, I want to get to know you guys. So I hope to see more comments from you, and I just wanted to show you my appreciation and tell you that I love you. Thank you. Michelle Saylor 8983. Thank you so much for the comment you left. That was so nice. You said that every single time you see me pop up that you stop. And I loved that so much. I think you also said that I was one of your favorite creators, and that means everything to me. You have no idea what that means to me. So thank you so much for that. I get giddy every time I hear that, because that is such an exciting thing to be for somebody. So I hope you know that I appreciate you just as much as you appreciate me. And thank you for watching my stories. Thank you for commenting and being kind. Even if you are watching silently, that means so much to me. But like I said, like if you guys are here and you're watching my videos, leave a comment. I want to get to know you guys. Even if it's just like, hey, my name is blah, or hey, like I do this while I watch your stories while I do this. Like, I just want to get to know you guys a little bit. So I appreciate you leaving a comment. And I think I said that in the last video, and that might be why you left the comment. And so thank you for that. Thank you for being kind too. I don't know if I said that. Thank you for listening to my rambling. It happens in every video, as you know, and I hope you know how much I appreciate you. I love you, girl. And my name is Kaisa, and I tell true scary stories on here every single night that you guys submit to me, whether they're short form or long form. So if you're into that, hit that subscribe button so that you can get notified next time I tell a true scary story. And I just need you to do 3 things for me. And one of those, keep sending me your scary stories, have a safe night, and what's the third one? Say it with me. Have a spooky night. Love you guys so much. See you in the next one. Spooky kisses and haunted hugs.